This episode of the Totally Rad Show is brought to you by Audible. Coming up, ghosts meet medicine in the new TV drama, A Gifted Man.
We are in full swing as the fall series, the new series of television are starting to pop left, right, and center. Today is Thursday that this is coming out, our review of the new TV show called A Gifted Man. It actually airs tomorrow night, Friday, on CBS.
Set your TiVos?
Set your TiVos or non-generic DVR, question mark? So, A Gifted Man was created by Susanna Grant, who's a prolific screenwriter. She wrote the script for Aaron Brockovich, most recently wrote The Soloist. She wrote for almost a full season on Party of Five. The pilot episode was directed by Jonathan Demme, of course, who directed Silence of the Lambs, Philadelphia, Manchurian Candidate, a bunch of different stuff. A Gifted Man follows the life of an ultra-competitive brain surgeon, neurosurgeon, played by Patrick Wilson, who mysteriously discovers that his ex-wife has been killed, and she comes back to guide him spiritually through his newfound life, as it were. It's as simple as that. As simple and realistic as that.
Indeed.
Daniel Trachtenberg, A Gifted Man, Patrick Wilson.
Was I in your own right?
Was you gifted
Was I touched?
by an angel? What did you think of A Gifted Man?
I didn't like A Gifted Man. Didn't like it.
Interesting.
I think it has one of the best casts of anything.
Margot
on television.
Martindale, everybody.
Yeah.
Can I get a Margot Martindale up in
I
this
recently
beat?
watched the second season of Justified,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Although she's kind of wasted in this show.
well, that's kind of the point of my premise, is that it has one of the best casts. I don't understand, and
Bill Irwin has a
Jennifer
tiny part.
L or Eel or whatever, who we didn't know her name at the time, but when we lauded her performance in Contagion, she's in this show.
Oh my God.
Patrick Wilson. It has so many people
Amazing.
that. Jennifer and Patrick Wilson is an incredible actor, and I'm worried that he would be part of a TV series now and skip on movie acting, because I feel like I don't want him to not be in movies now.
Well, they take
But
breaks.
it's this I thought the premise came off very silly, and it was one of the strangestly shot pilots I've ever seen.
What do you mean?
There's a lot of things I understand the intellectual idea for, and that Alex is joking about
staring
a
at that
gimmick
thing.
used to, like, it's like this very frontal shot
person
of,
kinda.
well, or not, but theoretically, like, of a guy, of two characters talking to each other, but it feels very disjointed, like they're not actually talking to each other. And I assume the intellectual idea is that it's because he's not really physically talking to someone, because they're a spirit or whatever, but it doesn't. It feels really weird, and it's very disaffecting and
What do you think of the
uncomfortable
premise
to watch.
of the show?
The premise, I don't, it's odd that you would have a main character that is so similar. Like, it feels very, you're watching this going, this feels like Hal, show me how it's different.
Yeah.
Didn't get to the different place yet, though I'm sure that's in store. But
Well,
it's
ghosts.
well, no, but the main character story.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, you would just
Like the
think
TV show House meets the movie House.
Yeah,
There's ghosts
I
in
know, House, yeah. I loved House too. So
Electric Boogaloo?
I was very confused. I think it has incredible cast
Yeah.
and incredible talent behind it.
Yeah.
But maybe all those forces didn't come together in the way that I would
Interesting.
appreciate.
Okay, Jeffrey Cannata.
Yeah, I think I liked it a little more than you did. I had a good time with these people. I had a good time on this ride. I had a good time with the mystery, and maybe that's because I had no idea what the premise was before I started watching it, and now.
I didn't either, but yeah.
Well, and I had a good time, kind of because the whole first act of the pilot is it's like, okay, kind of I get it. Yeah, he's persnickety, you know. And then when weird stuff starts happening, I was definitely intrigued, and I was glad that there was a +1 to this, and it wasn't just going to be a procedural house type show.
Yeah.
it didn't get all the way there for me, and I don't see real sustainability. It's not apparent in the pilot where the sustainability is going to come from.
Right.
Is it just going to be this spirit is going to be softening his edges over and over and over, because that's kind of all she does in this first thing, is she kind of teaches him to care for people and not be so driven and not be so self-centered and corporate and money hungry and all those things, which is fine for a film, you know, because we have a point A and a point B for a character, but over the course of a series, we need to go somewhere else, and maybe there is a somewhere else.
I would assume that all the patients every week there's like a new ghost.
I thought that too, but that doesn't seem like it's going to be that. It feels like it's her and him. It feels more like Quantum Leap almost to me.
Interesting. You think that's what it's going to be, the whole series?
I do.
Wow.
Yeah, there made no indication that he would see anybody else other than her.
Yeah, they made a lot of indications that he should only be seeing her by some of the things that the
Crazy.
friends
If it is that, which is I think much more interesting.
Yeah,
then
definitely.
I'm much more interested.
Well, it's funny that you brought up the first act as being sort of strange. I actually watched this twice, and the second time I watched it, I was surprised at how quickly the ghost appears.
Interesting.
I mean, it's within
you
the
didn't
first
feel
5
that the
minutes.
first time.
Did not. I felt the way you felt, which was, well, it was this sort of long, drawn-out procedural medical thing, and then all of a sudden this crazy supernatural thing happens, and that's not actually how, time-wise, that's not actually how it ends up. Just sort of
that's
minor
interesting.
point, but I thought you might
No,
be
Can I say
it
something
is.
to that real quick?
course.
Is that because that really highlights what I was trying to say about it, is that I felt from the get-go I felt like she better be a ghost, because this is really weird. It's shot weird. It's performed strangely.
Yeah.
So that's my whole point. Is like it's I get the idea,
Yeah.
what it's trying to get across, but the experience of watching it felt awkward.
Yeah. So I think I may have enjoyed it more than both of you guys, but
enjoyed it
not
enough to watch it twice.
Not by much. Well, I was gonna watch them with Heather, and she had to go somewhere, and then we were like, "Well, what should we watch tonight?" And I was like, "You know, I'd watch A Gift of Man again if you want to see it." And she was like, "Oh, really?" And I was like, "Yeah, it was pretty good. I enjoyed it." I was worried it's the same way at the beginning. I was like, I don't like this character, and I already have a character that I don't really like in Dr. House. I was very upset that it was just going to be a gifted neurosurgeon man, not something crazy and cool that the poster was eliciting.
Right. Yeah, because that was an evocative poster.
Yeah, and then it went there, and I was very happy with it, and I enjoyed seeing this guy sort of warm up and how that rippled through his life. I really like the shaman character, like the funny sort of shaman guy from The Wire. Really enjoyed that dynamic, and there was some really fun stuff that was happening. I agree that the face on camera thing could have been used half as often and would have actually been really powerful, I think, for me. Mr. Shrugs a lot. Just because I enjoyed that sort of immediate look into, there was a great hallway shot that I actually thought it worked really well there for me. So there was, I found some stuff to take home. I was really disappointed when, by the end of this, it became clear that the wife was sticking around. And that was when I went, man, I just don't think this is going to be a series I'm going to enjoy, because especially towards the end, I agree with you, I think it became very almost campy with how he dealt with the wife. Whereas it was so honest and real. This is how you would react if this crap happened to you today.
Yeah,
And,
I agree with
and
that.
the second half was like, wah, 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 you know what I mean? You should pay for the surgery. Well, I'll pay for the surgery. Well, what? Who are you talking to? You know what I mean? Like, and it didn't need to go there. And I'm worried that as the series continues, it's going to be less about that amazing front that it had, the really powerful front section, and more about this sort of mulled, not very fun back segment. It's a little more too comedy for me.
I agree with you, though. One of the things that struck me was how wonderful. I mean, you've seen that in countless films where whatever that wacky, fantastic premise happens, and how the person reacts to it feels so like I would never do that. But in this show, it really felt like, that's what I would do. I would be like, crap, there's something wrong with me.
I'm hallucinating.
Yeah, it's and he was like, he's a neurosurgeon, so he's on it,
Yeah.
And I really loved that.
Yeah,
But-
and it kind of lost that as it was going on towards the end.
Yeah.
And the sort of monster of the week as still being sort of brain surgery-y stuff was like, it's got to go beyond I'm gonna just get this. Oh yeah, it is a brain thing. I'll fix it.
Well, are you
know
gonna
what
watch episode 2?
I'm gonna watch episode 2. More out of curiosity than anything, to be honest, because I really don't know how episode 2 is going. Usually at the end of a pilot, you see episode 2, or at least what a potential episode 2. I don't even see a potential episode 2 in this. So I'm gonna watch the second episode, mainly because I wanna see where they're gonna go with this. But Patrick Wilson is really an amazing actor, and I think almost enough just watching Patrick Wilson act is it a reason to watch the show. And it's worth checking out. I mean, the other thing is, it's worth checking out. So
That is
there you go.
That is another
Tomorrow night. All right, everybody, be sure to stick around for This Day in Rad
History?
But first, we want to thank our sponsors. Jeff?
Audible.com, the leading provider of downloadable
I
digital
hear that.
audiobooks and spoken word entertainment.
It was very
Which,
audible.
to translate that for you folks, means you can multitask and listen to books.
Lilu Dallas multitask?
Lilo Dallas multitask. I've been listening to, my girlfriend and I just finished up the Tina Fey audiobook, Bossy Pants, which is an enormously entertaining read, and even better listen because Tina Fey reads it herself.
Amazing.
I had the same experience listening to
Steve Martin?
Steve Martin's.
Because I as well, on audiobook.
His stand-up, his autobiography. It's so much better when you get to hear them. They know the rhythm and the cadence with which they wrote those jokes, and they get to speak it in that cadence. It's badass. Should you not want that one, there's 75,000 other titles to choose from every single kind of genre. You can put them on any kind of playback device, and then you can multitask. And we'll give you a free one just because you watch our show.
Bam, free one.
Go to audiblepodcast.com/totallyrad. You get a free audiobook. I recommend the Bossy Pants, especially good listening with your female companion, should you have one. Again, go to audiblepodcast.com/totallyrad. Get a free audiobook.
Amazing. We will see you.
Mañana.
Check out tomorrow for our review of the new TV show Pan Am.
Today is September 22nd, and on this day in rad history, back in 1994, Friends premiered. And I have to say, Friends was sort of like one of my favorite sitcoms. I mean, I was like
me too.
in it.
Yeah.
I had I loved
I
every
love
minute of
Friends.
it. And I
love
came out
Friends.
to LA and ended up on the Paramount lot for some reason. I think it might have been when I was doing, I can't remember why I was on the Paramount lot, but you could go into the Paramount gift shop on the Paramount lot and buy the Java
Central Perk.
Central Perk cups. So I had like Central Perk mugs, and it was like the most amazing thing.
So no one told you life was going to be that way.
Everybody did, but I just felt like it better in song.
Yeah, Friends was awesome. I loved it as well. I remember
Yeah.
not watching it when it premiered, and then I just thought it was just like any other sitcom.
Yeah,
but then
yeah.
I remember like it was a sitcom, but I felt like it was serialized TV where I couldn't wait another week
To see
for
what
it.
happened.
Yeah.
Everyone loved it.
I was into the Ross and Rachel thing. Like, are they going
Me
to get
too,
to?
man. Me too.
When,
I
you were
remember-
over me? When were you under me?
I remember real quick doing Texas Shakespeare Festival, and we would have dinner at the same time every day in this in the commissary, and there was a little TV, and since it was the same time every day, it was like the syndicated
rerun, yeah.
Friends rerun, and the entire room, when the Friends would come on, everybody would do the at the same time, and
that's annoying.
what? No, it's fun. Dan Trachtenberg, enemy of fun.
Thank you, Tom Richards.